Hello and welcome back to another Pricey HD video, and today we've got another episode of the Game of the Week series. It is Man City vs Spurs in today's episode, and this is a very interesting fixture actually. Right now Man City are on possibly what you would say the most inconsistent or worst form of, well, their few years since they won the title back in 2011. Say few years, that is now 6 years. And then on the other hand, you have Spurs, who are on fire. They are the form team in the Premier League right now, but you just can't help thinking, well, it's Spurs. What happens? They'll just end up losing. But let's try and analyse it. Let's try and see whether we can get who will win out of this game at an accurate result. Last week, I did so well. I actually predicted it bang on at 1-1 with the Liverpool-Man United game, which was the first time I think I've ever predicted it correctly, which is rather worrying. Maybe not the first time I've ever predicted the result correctly, but definitely the exact score. That could possibly be the first time. Maybe not, I'm not really sure. I don't actually keep record of it. Maybe I should. Maybe that should be a thing that I introduce into the Game of the Week series. See how many I predict correctly, and we can do like a little table at the end of it every season. Right now in the background, you have the FIFA 17 gameplay. Yep. That's about all I've got to say for that. Make sure you try and enjoy it. These do have a habit of ending in 0-0, which is a shame because, it's something that I would like to sort of spice up a bit, and that'll be coming very soon, where I change the format of the simulation, to be frankly honest. But that's enough about that, because you're here for the statistics, you're here for the football knowledge that I really should have. So right now I've got a website open, not the BBC Sport website, which is a bit of a change this time. Just wanted to sort of mix it up a bit. It's more of a statistic-based website, and this is basically about how they have played each other, and basically see which team is on the best form. So quite interestingly, on Boxing Day 1912, they played each other, these two teams, and they basically, they got a 4-0 win, Spurs did, but that really doesn't matter. The Premier League form at the moment, Spurs, that's a bit odd, lost, drew, lost, won, drew. And their overall form was 1-1-1-1-1. Right, okay. Interesting. Okay, maybe I should have checked this website really before I started this. This is really confusing. Right, give me a moment. That was the most unprofessional thing I've ever done. In fact, it is Spurs who come out on top on the head-to-head statistics, with Spurs winning 39.4% of the games between Spurs and Man City. Tottenham have drew with Man City 22.7%, and the remaining 37.9% is of course Man City's wins. So it is tight. It is a matter of 2%, almost like Brexit. But either way, that is a clear difference, and they clearly are very equal teams overall in history. The last time that they played, Tottenham got a 2-0 win. That was back in October, and Man City, the time before that, got a 2-1 loss again. Then the time before that, Spurs won 4-1. So basically, Tottenham have been on fire since September 2015 against Man City. However, you go a little bit further back and you see where Tottenham really weren't so good. Quite interestingly, actually, it's like they've turned their team around entirely. You look at this. 2014-15, Man City won 1-0. And then a bit earlier that year, they got a 4-1 win against Spurs. Before that, there was a 5-1 win in 2014. And then in 2013, there was a 6-0 win for Man City. So Tottenham really weren't very good a few years back. Man City got a string of results against them quite well in a row, which is really quite shocking, really. And then you see them now, and it's like, Man City have really dropped the game against Spurs, and Spurs have really picked up the game against Man City. They've worked them out, almost, I suppose, because Spurs have got a lot better. They were the years where Spurs were in that sort of mediocre period. Harry Redknapp had left, and they couldn't really find the manager that they wanted. Mauricio Pochettino comes in, he does a decent job, to be fair to the lad, and look at them now. But then you go slightly further back from that, and it switches again. You get a huge string of results for Tottenham in a row here. Apart from one win for Man City in 2008, from 2004 to 2010, Spurs won every game against Man City, the majority being 2-1, 2-0. There is one 3-0 in there. There's another 2-0 there as well. In fact, Man City didn't beat Tottenham for an entire 4 years. 4 years. No, 5 years, in fact. 5 years. Well, yeah, that is unbelievable. And in fact, they haven't beaten Tottenham now since the 3rd of the 5th, 2015. So if that's anything to go by, Tottenham are going to win this game. But, of course, football is a game of many, many games. And that could all change. Just for the sake of it, let's see the first fixture we've got listed here. In 1910, Tottenham and Man City drew 1-1. The performance of both clubs have dramatically improved by the looks of it, which is odd. This is a footballing chart analysis, this game. And look at this. This is really odd. Man City are on what is probably average form. But then you have Tottenham, who are flying at the moment. They're a lot higher than where they expect to be, really, at the start of the season. They're second at the moment, which is unbelievable. Man City's longest win run in the Premier League is 6 games in a row, so is Tottenham's. The longest losing streak for Man City is 2. For Tottenham, it is 1. Seriously, that is some statistic, to be fair. Look at that. The longest losing streak is 1. That's not possible. Surely that's not possible. That is something to be proud of. Longest run without loss is 12 for Spurs. Man City is 6. Longest run without win is 3 for Man City and 4 for Spurs. Matches over 2.25 goals, 15 for Man City and 10 for Spurs. Oh, of course, this is only this season's results as well, by the way. This isn't or every game, every season. Their 2016-17 table at the moment looks like this. You've got Tottenham, who are in second, win in the last 5 matches. Then you have Man City, who have lost twice in the last 5 matches, but won 3 of them. They are in 5th. Yep, they are in 5th, only 2 points above of United, and now 10 points behind trophy challenging side Chelsea, who are, of course, right now on track to be the champions of the Premier League. In the relegation zone, just for the sake of it, let's point out that Swansea are rock bottom below Sunderland on goal difference. Already minus 26 goal difference for Swansea. 21 games in, they've got 15 points. Hull City are just on the edge of the relegation zone with 16. And so are Crystal Palace, just on the edge of the relegation zone. They are 17th. Hull City are 18th. And they are on the same points as well. Palace on 16 points. Minus 10 goal difference for Palace, though, does put them above Hull City. Interestingly, it's so tight down there between them 4 clubs. Middlesbrough sort of ran away from it a little bit. Leicester is still really in that there, which is really weird. It's so weird. I mean, I expected Leicester to not be anywhere near as good this year, but 15th is literally, it just looks like the place you sort of expect Leicester to be again now. Literally trying to get out of relegation battle, which is unbelievable. But then you only skip a few points ahead and suddenly you're in 10th. So, I mean, it could all change for them. West Brom in 8th, probably one of the biggest surprises of the season so far, along with Burnley, who are in 10th. 21 games played, 26 points. Of course, again, that can all change very quickly. They could really fall down if they don't keep up this form. But fair play to them. Fair play to them. Anyway, this game of the week is about Man City and Tottenham. So let's round up my predictions. My prediction for this game, I don't want to go 1-1 again because I went like that last week. I think I'm probably going to say 2-1 Man City. Man City a dual win against Spurs. So I'm going to go 2-1 Man City. Now, that's not because I have anything against Spurs. I think they're a very good side. But I would actually quite like to see what I've predicted against Spurs this year because I've had a few game of the weeks. I'd like to think that I haven't been too harsh on them. I don't really expect much of Spurs, which is odd because I don't actually mind their side. I think it's very good. Very, very easy to watch. But last week, they got a brilliant win against West Brom. A 4-0 win. Man City, on the other hand, a 4-0 loss against Everton. So Man City will be coming into this game either scared or rifled up to amend what went wrong last time out. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Man City. But genuinely, this one could go either way.